Hi, this is Dr. Pramila Kudba welcoming you to yet another episode. This format is more on the workshop platform. Hope you enjoy it. All right, we begin with today's session. Questioning is an important skill that all of us need to learn. All those who are in the teaching profession, those who are students, and those who are parents. Every individual needs to learn how to ask the right kind of questions. So here we go. Let's look at this bus. Which way is it headed? Is it headed to the right? Is it headed to the left? I've given you a clue. Look at the BST bus and the position of the bus, the position of the windows and the doors. The clue is already there with you. I'll give you a minute to think and tell me which way it is headed. I will give you the answer anyway. I think by now, some of you have got the answer. Before I give you the answer, let me tell you, my kindergarten children knew the answer pit pat. They looked at the bus and they said, it is going right. And when asked, do you know what they said? The door of the bus is not seen. If the door of the bus is seen, then the bus is going to the left. Since the door of the bus is not seen, the bus is going to the right. How beautiful is that answer? So why do we ask questions? Asking question is the simplest way of focusing thinking. Asking the right question may be the most important part of thinking. So here a question was asked and the children focused and gave the answer. Now, what is the right kind of question? Let's have a look at that. Now, Apollo 13 was named a successful failure. This is the crew of Apollo 13, April 11, 1970. They were scheduled to land on the moon. But about 48 hours after they departed from the surface of the Earth, trouble started for them. If you have seen the movie Apollo 13, it starts with the statement, Houston, we have a problem here. Now, how can a failure be a success? A success cannot be a failure, and a failure cannot be a success. So how can we have a successful failure? It is a successful failure because the crew, which was destined to land on the moon, could not do that. So it is a failure, but they were brought back successfully to Earth. So it was a success. Now, how did that happen? When the troubles started on Apollo 13, and when they complained to the station, space station, saying there is trouble, everybody started asking, what went wrong? What happened? What is this? What is that? And the time was ticking away till the person in charge of that particular mission took control. And he asked them, what is it that is going right for you? And that was the critical question. That critical question helped them to put things together and they could be brought back to Earth safe. So it is not just asking question, but asking the right question. I have some more examples for you. Here you are. Now, Watson and Crick asked the question, what would be DNA's structure if the DNA were to be in 3D form? And this important critical question led to the formation of the double helix of the DNA. Now, Tylenol, which is taken across the counter in the US, which is the equivalent of the so-called Crocin or paracetamol that we have here in India, was laced with Tylenol by somebody. Now, these Tylenol capsules, sorry, it was laced with cyanide by somebody. And these Tylenol capsules, when taken by the people, they started dying. Now, the CEO of this particular company had to now, Johnson & Johnson, I think it was, had to now take an ethical decision. He had to decide whether he should call back the Tylenol samples and cause millions of dollars of loss to the company or let it go. The CEO decided to call back. And that led to a loss of millions of dollars. But it took only 3 years for them to recover. So the question, most important question that the CEO had in mind, what is the ethical action that we need to take? It paid off. Because the consumers, the patients, they felt the company had the best of interests of the patients at heart. Now, Ray Kroc, he asked another important question. Where can I get a good burger when I'm on the highway? Now, you look at the M sign, and when you're traveling on the highway, you stop to eat because you know this M sign produces the most hygienic food that you could think of at reasonable rate. So the McDonald's chain across the globe represents a good burger on the highway. So these important questions are critical to get us the most crucial decisions that lead to a few important landmarks. Now, a paradigm shift occurs when a question is asked inside a current paradigm that can only be answered from outside. Now, let's look at this question. What else could a good school be? All of us know what is a good school. What else could a good school be? This question can be answered by all the stakeholders, whether they are students, whether they are parents or teachers. Can this be answered only keeping their own school in perspective? Most definitely not. They would be comparing their school with the other schools. So a paradigm shift is possible only by taking information from outside. Are we good so far? We have looked at why we ask questions. We have looked at how important questions can lead to important decisions. And we also know that a paradigm shift can occur from looking at outside the paradigm. And that brings about a change.